Hi everyone. So this video is going to try and teach you how to symbolize this map into a Chloropleth map as per the instructions for this assignment. So there's a couple things that could go wrong when we're trying to do this. So number one, what's going to happen in this case is probably when you joined the tables of the median value to the block groups and then created the new feature class of BG median value, that when we look at this, so let's say we open up this attribute table, you'll see all of our attributes here, right? So what'll happen is all of our attributes will be here. Here they are, HD011, which is the median value. This came from our median value table, and this came from our median value table, right? So all of these things join together with this block group table. And you'll see, like, look at how they're labeled. See, you can see right here, it says in the title that this came from the block groups, and you can tell that this one came from the median table table. So you can see how they join together. So we have all of our data. Then what happens is if you go over here and you try and symbolize, so the next step would be to symbolize your map. So we have the new geo class there, which is median value. We're ready to symbolize. We're on the last step. We're hoping it's the home run. We're almost done this assignment. And when you go to symbology, what you're going to see is, oops, I don't want to symbolize for area hydrology. I want to symbolize for this. So we go to symbolize value, and you're going to notice that this one isn't here yet because I'm going to show you how to create this. But you're going to only see this option, this option, this option, this option, this option. And the reason that you only see these options is because if we open the table, if we look at the fields of the table down here, if we go here and I go up to view, if I go up here and I say view the fields of the table, you'll see that the only ones that are showing up are the ones that have the data type of double, long, right? Double or long. The ones that have text showing up are not numeric formats. So they're not showing up in our symbology, in our fields. They're not showing up. So we can't show those as graduated color symbols. And so it's very frustrating. Like, you've done all these steps, you've gotten all this way, and now it's not showing up. So the way to solve this problem is that we're going to create a new field in this big long table that we've joined together. And we are going to, you'll see, we're going to call it something else and bring those values over. And this is why it was really important in step one. I went back and told everyone to delete rows that don't have any value, median home value to them. So you need to get rid of them, because if you don't get rid of them, when we create this new field and express it as another field, what's going to happen is it's going to create an error. So I need you to delete all of those rows that either have 10,000 negative or have no value to them. And I wrote those instructions under the announcement that has the file for the data in there. And so we can go over that in class, but I just wanted to let you know. So here's what we need to do in order to have this happen. What we're going to do is we need to create a field, a new field under this table. So when you're under this table here, median value, so the way you get to that table is you right click and you say attribute table. Okay, so right click and hit attribute table. And right here under field, hit add. And you're going to add a new field. And we're going to call this field median value. Okay, underscore value, and I'm just going to call it amount. I know I already have it, that's why it's in red. And then you're going to click here to this, it's not going to let me do that, so I'm going to call it median value 1. Okay, and then here I'm going to create an alias for it, and that alias is going to be, so you have to double click in these things. I'm going to say median VAMT 1. Okay, 1. Okay, and then what we're going to have is long is going to fill it in here, and then I need to go over here and I need to assign it a number format, and I need it to be numerical. So when I'm going to click in this little box here and I'm going to say numeric. numeric. 6 decimal places is fine. I like to show the 1,000 with separators. You don't have to do that, but I like to do that. And then I say, okay. And then the next thing that I'm going to do is go up here and hit save. Okay, once I hit save, you're going to see this new column appear, this new field appear in this table. Okay, I'm not going to save that right now because I created it right here. What I really want you to do, I created it right here. So here's what's going to happen. I'm going to say, okay, I don't want to save my changes because I'm okay. But you'll see here, all of a sudden you're going to have a field here with your new field name that you just created. And it's going to say null all the way down here. And you're going to say to yourself, well, wait a minute, how is that amount null? Well, what are we going to tell it to be? Okay, what on earth are we going to tell this row to be, or this field to be? How you're going to do that is you're going to click here. Okay, you're going to click here and you're going to click, oops, sorry, I'm going to right click here and I'm going to say calculate field. So I'm going to hit calculate field, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to say that I want median value amount to equal, and I want it to equal the HDVD01, because remember, this was the median value that was in that table that we got from the census website. So I'm going to say I want that new field to equal this old field that's there. And then I'm going to hit run. And now there may be an error message that comes up, but don't stress out about it, okay? Because it is going to show these amounts here, all right? So what's going to happen is when you hit run, these nulls are going to change into the same value that's in this field here. So what's in this field will now become in this field. And then you can symbolize your map. If you don't do this step, then what's going to happen, so hit run, and then it'll successfully say run. Okay, right now it's not going to say successful, because, well, actually it is, because I already did it. But it's going to successfully run that, and this, now notice the numbers are the same in these two fields. Okay, then you're going to X out of that, and now you'll see you're going to pick graduated colors to make your Chloropleth map. You're then going to be able to choose, this field will show up now. Then you're going to pick, you want 4 classes as per the instructions, and you want to choose purple as your color. So scroll down and find purple. Okay? And then when you find purple, the values will be here. Okay, and then what you're going to do is you're going to label the features as per the instruction. Under 100,000, 100 to 200,000, 200 to 300,000, and 300 over 300,000. And I know these numbers are a little bit off, but it's still in general what it's going to be. Okay. And this is, now you can change that. I mean, you could change your histogram scales to like go up, right? So you could do this to go to 100,000. Oh my goodness, let me go up a little bit. Right. That's good. Right, you could do that, and then you could do this to 200, right? So from 100 to 200,000. You know, and 200 to 3. I mean, you're not going to change the data that much, to be honest with you, because it's really like about right there, you know, and then over 3. You might get like 1 or 2 areas that become a little bit different, but other than that, for the generality of this. So you can see here's our map. So now we've made our map. We have actually made our map to be exactly what we have done. And I know it required a significant amount of steps, but you can now see what the errors are when we're joining tables, that when we join tables and we want something to show up in a field, it needs to have either a long, a double, or a string amount to it. It can't say text in there. If it says text in the field as the numeric code, then you're not going to be able to show that. in your symbology. So that's really important. Now, there is a way that you could do that, whereas if you have it in Excel, not in CSV, but if you have it in Excel, you can save, you can right-click on that column and make it a numeric, right? Under the row properties. But even when I did that, it didn't come into ArcGIS Pro that way. So I think the easiest way is to create another row, another field in the actual attribute table like we did. So we created that additional field by going to the attribute table and then adding that field. So we added this field down here. And then what we did was, remember when we added this field, in order to bring those amounts in, when we added that field and we made it a numeric row, okay, and then when we set the expression on what we wanted to calculate that field to equal, we were able to do that. So make sure you follow those steps, walk through the steps of this video, and you'll be able to, when we want to calculate this field, walk through those steps in order to get that final last push done. And I know it's this assignment was a lot of different steps. It was, you know, downloading the data and then joining the table and then making the geodatabase and then symbolizing the map. So there were a lot of steps to this that actually required multiple steps for each step. But once you get there, I think you'll be happy with what you have. Okay? And of course, if you have any questions or problems, make sure we can address them in class.